Hello and welcome aboard BDE Travels in our Camino de Santiago. In our previous episode, we reached the halfway point. We visited the Church of La Peregrina and Anielis took a photo. We stared at a mummy and reached El Bulgo Ranero. In today's episode, we continue our walk and reached the town of Reliegos. We walked by Bar Elvis and reached the town of Puente Villarente. After a few hours walking, we reached the town of León. There we visit its cathedral and the Sistine Chapel of the Romanesque. We pay a visit to one of Spain's most famous architects. We walked around the town, we stopped for photos at the city hall, and took some time to go grocery shopping. We explored the city and called it a night. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we continue here on BDE Travels in the Camino de Santiago. Alright folks, reaching the town of Reliegos. One thing that I must say before you get to Reliegos, remember that we talked about in El Bulgo Ranero, there was that truck stop over there. Get water there because it's around 8 kilometers and there's nothing. It's all you can see is just fields of sunflower fields and corn, and that's about it. There's some shade because some trees are on the side, but once again, get water before you make it to Reliegos. We're entering the town now. There's an albergue right at the beginning of the town, and I can see a couple of cars and a cafeteria down the road. So stay with us. We're in the town of Reliegos here on BDE Travel. A curious fact is that there is only 337 kilometers between Reliegos and Santiago de Compostela. As you enter the town of Reliegos, you will see a lot of wine cellars. Some of them are still used to house wine, and many of them are used as regular homes. We continue our walk and come across Bar La Torre, commonly known as Bar Elvis. Alright, just reaching right before Villamoros de Mansilla. There's a gas station on the right side. You gotta be careful because you gotta cross over the road, but they got water, they got things that you can buy and eat. So right before you get to Villamoros on the right side, you can see that they got a small store, convenience store. It's right on the gas station. So if you need to take a break, that's a good place to do it. So we're approaching now Villamoros, and still a long day. So stay with us here on BDE Travels. Another thing to point out is that if you stay on the main road is a little bit dangerous. There's an alternate route. Once you get to the entrance of Villamoros, you can make a left. It's a little bit longer, but the path is a lot safer. So my recommendation, once you cross the little store, right before you get to Villamoros, make a left here on the bifurcation and take that route. It's a lot safer instead of just paralleling the road. So you can take the left, it's a lot safer than actually coming here and going parallel to the road. A few minutes later, we reach Puente Villarente. We cross by its new bridge. In the past, pilgrims used to share the same road with the cars. Well folks, leaving the last town, we're getting into the next town, and the next town is very peculiar because in the past pilgrims used to walk on the bridge, but the bridge is also used by all the cars. So there were, some people that mentioned that it was very dangerous, and then the town, they built a boardwalk that goes right over the bridge parallel to the original bridge. So I think it's a good thing. It's a beautiful river. Some people stop in here and they take, a couple of minutes in the water. It's nice and refreshing. It's beautiful views and all that. So we're coming up on the next town, and the views of the river, it's just simply beautiful. Beautiful. And the bridge is actually in front of us right now. Well folks, at the entrance of Puente Villarente, they have an albergue on the right side, and it also has a swimming pool. So if you're those who like to stay in albergues with swimming pool in Puente Villarente, just a few miles before León, you can stay here. It's a salty swimming pool, or a saline swimming pool, I guess that's what it's called. But it's right at the entrance of Puente Villarente. It's called Hostal Restaurante El Delfín Verde.
From Puente Villarente, we continue until we reach the town of León. León is a city on the Bernesga River on the northwest of Spain. It is the capital of the province of León. It's home to many churches and cathedrals noted by their architecture and art.
Well, hello folks, once again here on BDE Travels. We're in León right now. We're at the Plaza Mayor. This is day 21, I guess, from our walking the Camino. It's our rest day, so we're going to be touring the city, so hope you enjoy the whole day with us here in León. We're going to go through the cathedral. We're going to go to San Isidoro if it's open, because right now it's a little bit rainy and it's a little bit late in the afternoon. But once again, just don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're doing the Camino de Santiago. Enjoy with us here on BDE Travels, and once again, welcome aboard.
This is the famous Cathedral of León, the most luminous and colorful cathedral in the region. It is a perfect example of French Gothic architecture with pure ascending lines and an exquisite series of stained glass windows letting cascades of light into the building. The Pulchra Leonina, a Latin appellation that defines the cathedral as beautiful, it was started in the 12th century and intended to be the largest cathedral of time. This did not happen, but instead it became one of the most beautiful Spanish Gothic churches.
Well, folks, one thing to remember is that if you're going to visit the cathedral, they have specific hours visiting. I think it goes from 8 in the morning until 1:30 in the afternoon, and then they close the church until 4, from 4 to 8. So if you're in between the hours of 1:30 to 4, the cathedral is actually going to be closed. So what you can do is just walk down the avenue and go towards the Gaudí El Botín, which is an impressive building built by Antonio Gaudí. So there's a lot of things to see in León. Stay with us here on BDE Travels. All right, folks, we just got out of the cathedral in León. It's €6 per person. You can also stamp the credential, but you got to go around the side. It's on the left side next to it's actually where the museum of the church is. So if you want to see the cloister and all that, you have to go around. But the church is very impressive. It's called the Cathedral of Lights. So if you have the time to go ahead and pay the €6. You can download, if you have the QR code, you can download a self-guided tour and listen to all the information about this great Gothic cathedral. So now we're heading towards San Isidoro, which is where you find the Sistine Chapel of the Romanesque style. So once we get there, we'll give you a little bit more details. Stay with us here on BDE Travels. Well, folks, a quick tip from the Camino. You'll notice that in León, what they're going to do is they're going to take the arrows and they're going to route them in such a way that you go through the different churches and historical places. Right now, we're right next to the Church of San Isidoro. And San Isidoro is very important. I'll get more details into it on the video. But it's a very important cathedral to go to because of the fact that they say that inside of there, they have the Holy Grail. That's one of the things. And the second thing about San Isidro is that it is known as the Sistine Chapel of the Romantic because of some frescoes up at the top at the ceiling. So if you have a chance to take a look at San Isidro, go ahead and take a visit. And once again, the arrows are going to point you. They're going to take you to San Isidro. They're going to take you to the cathedral. They're also going to take you to different places around town, but usually what they want is all the pilgrims to go through the most important historical monuments within León. So that's another tip from here at BDE Travels. Stay with us in the Camino de Santiago.
The Church of San Isidoro, also known as the Sistine Chapel of the Romanesque art, it's the Royal Collegiate of San Isidoro in León, and it's one of the most important Romanesque sites in Europe that have more than 1,000 years of history. From its birth in the 10th century, San Isidoro and its museum have become a cultural and artistic reference point for the city of León. Although cameras are not allowed inside and you're not supposed to film, I just took a little shot inside to glance at this beautiful church. Also within the walls of the church are said to be the Holy Grail, the cup where Jesus drank on the Last Supper. We leave this wonderful church and continue our walk through town.
Well, folks, we got out of the San Isidoro church, and we saw all the frescoes. Beautiful church. Now we're at the supermarket getting things for tonight, because if you eat at restaurants or albergues, it's a little bit more expensive. So we're at the supermarket in León, and we're gonna cook the meal. It's a lot cheaper. So if you want to save a buck here and there, you're better off going to the supermarket and getting, like Caesar salads and juices and all that. So we are here just about to wrap up the day in León, and we'll give you an update once we get to the hotel. We'll show you around the hotel and everything. And tomorrow we'll keep on going on the Camino de Santiago here with us at BDE Travels. All right, folks, we have something that you might be interested in if you're lactose intolerant.
Lactose and gluten intolerant, yes. We just found a whole section here in León. We have everything, a whole aisle of all products lactose and gluten free. So there's many options for those that have intolerances. So that's a great thing.
The place is called El Corte Inglés, or the English Cut in Spanish. So if you ask any people in León, anyone in León, to direct you to get the address, and you can come in. It's on the second floor, actually in the basement, on the second. Well, how would you say the second floor of the basement? Something like that.
You just go down.
Just go down.
The escalator. Yeah.
And you can find at least that type of food if you're allergic or intolerant to gluten or lactose. So that is a choice, because I know a lot of people in the Camino have been asking, what do you do? What kind of diet do you have in the Camino if you're lactose intolerant or gluten intolerant? Well, there's an option in León. You can come to El Corte Inglés, and they have a supermarket in here. They have a lot of variety for that.
That's great. I'm happy.
She's happy. I'm happy.
We now come across Casa Botines. Casa Botines in León is one of the most important architectural houses that Gaudí ever built. Outside of Catalonia, there are two main works of arts from Gaudí. One is located in Astorga, which is the Episcopal Palace, and the other one in León, which is the Casa Botines.
Well, folks, right now, if you're looking, the cathedral is down that way. You go straight up and you're going to hit the cathedral. And over here in the corner, when you come over here, even though some of the streets got a little bit of graffiti, but there's the hotel. It's called Hotel Neru, and once again we chose it because it's very central. There's a lot of things close by. It's got air conditioning, so that's comfortable, even though today it's a little bit cooler. But this is the name of the hotel. There's where we're staying right now. So stay with us here at BDE Travels. Well, here's the hotel, just one big bedroom, and we're at the first floor right next to the street. So it's a brand new hotel. It's called Hotel Neru. I recommend it. You're right in the center of León, next to everything. You're only about 10 minutes away from a laundromat, about 10 minutes away from the supermarket, and everything is accessible about 5 minutes from the cathedral. So it's pretty good. Well, folks, we are here. We're doing the evening stroll in León. And just to let you know that right now, everywhere you go, there are cops in the corners, or they're making sure that everyone's got their mask on. Yeah. So the bars, they close at midnight. It's not like usual time in Spain where you can spend the night in the bars and everything. It's just that right now, once you're done at midnight, everything's closed. Everyone's got to have their mask. The cops are, checking to see if they have the mask. Right now it's once again raining here in León. It's slippery. Yeah. So beautiful night, but it's not the same. It's not definitely the same. Yeah. So stay with us here on BDE Travels.
In our next episode, we leave the beautiful town of León and continue our Camino de Santiago towards Astorga. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we continue here on BDE Travels in the Camino de Santiago.